Hey, so welcome back to my channel. Dummy, I live here. You know that, right? Like, I literally own the land you're barking on. Shut it. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. Right here is where we're going to be working next. Now, I just finished the back porch. So what we're going to do next is we're going to be working on a spotting rig. So some of you know, some of you don't know, whatever, don't care. My wife and I do acrobatic stuff. So a spotting rig is basically a rig that keeps the flyers safe. So if there's a bad fall, they don't crash to the ground, break their neck, and end up, paralyzed. So I'm not sure how much of this is going to be entertainment or how much is going to be educational, but we're going to get into it. And I'll give you some tips and tricks along the way. So yeah, let's do it. Well, do you think I should have it this side of the yard? That way I have like more free area over there. 12 feet away, yeah, which is fine. The sand's only on the top layer. It goes like once you're like 6 inches deep, the sand goes away. Do you you put them in at an angle, or you just put them strapping down? It does not matter. Do you want to sew the ropes flush, or are we gonna replace the rope? I know it's gonna make them on my other bitch. I got that. How far are we going? How far are we going in between the stakes? 36? All right. Well, that one goes to 25. Does it make a difference on the angle? Or
the pull is going to be this way.
Yeah.
So the reason you want to angle it is so if it was to pull that way, it has to move that end
all that distance, like
2
this
feet before it even gets to level, and then it has to come way over here before it can actually pull out.
Yeah.
So
the angle's not really important. It's just more that it's at an angle just to.
No, the angle's important. You never want to put.
No, not like straight down, but like whether it's like 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Oh. Done. You don't have to use any Loctite or anything on these. Screw the pin. Yeah. Do we need to measure in between the stakes and mark a line? Then that way we know where the base goes, or?
Okay, so now what happens is we take the ratchet straps and we hook them to these things.
You're just going through the middle and around the hook, right? Okay, that's what I did. All right, I'll at least bring the lather over then. Now that the foundation is, so we have everything basically where we want it. Let's talk about the setup and cables and ropes and lines, everything else. Just so, again, it's not going to happen because I don't have like 360 followers, I think. That way people aren't flooding in the comments with, that's unsafe, or that's going to break, or you're going to kill somebody. Because seriously, like my wife's going up in it. And if anybody's going to be safe, it's going to be my wife. So let's talk about like what we have and like how everything's going to work. So the tubes that we're using, they're Schedule 40, I think they're called. They're basically a 1/4 inch thick steel or aluminum. One of the questions I get is like, why are you going with round, not square? Well, round is actually better for this type of workload because there's less deflection, and it's actually a stronger steel because it's more circular, so there's less bendy points, if you will. So this is actually stronger. So it's 1/4 inch thick, or 3 Schedule 30, Schedule 40, whatever. Same as like Schedule 30 or 40, I don't remember, whatever. It's 1/4 inch thick or close to it. And we're doing about 18 feet tall. So this steel, again, it's over 2,000 pounds of actual workload. So let's say there's a person on, that's in the harness. You'll see it all work together at the end of the video. Let's say there's a person in the harness that weighs 150 pounds, okay? They fall, just a straight fall down to the ground. And what will happen is basically that momentum and them falling from gravity. Roughly, they say it's 2.5 times their body weight. So if they're 150, that's 300 is half, plus half is 75. So now you're talking like 375 pounds of downward force spread out over 12 feet. And with this bar, it's not going to bend on 375 pounds because this is rated at, say, 2,000 pounds, right? So plenty of room there. We can actually lift a car engine or probably, the front end of any car with this. Let's go talk about the straps. So the straps we're using, they're just 2 inches of nylon, just regular ratchet strap. These are rated at 3,333 pounds, something like that. So again, enough working load to deal with it. And we're tying them off to the rope right here. It's not a nylon, it's a synthetic, and that's, again, a couple thousand pounds rated for the actual rope. The straps are connected to cables. Cables are about 5/8 of an inch thick. With this, we're not worried more about the downward force, it's more the racking. The only thing we have to fight against would be like wind shear or high gusts or whatever like that. If winds in my area get to 3,000, miles an hour, where now you're actually putting, 3,000 pounds of pressure on there. I think in my area, the biggest wind from the hurricanes we've had in the last, I'm not sure how long it's been, but for a number I made up, call it, 145 knots. You know what I mean? Whatever it is in miles an hour, I'm not doing the math, but this is more than strong to actually hold it vertical and stop it from racking back and forth. Again, for the cable, so cables are gonna be splayed about 45 degrees off of each corner, and they're gonna be hooked to the ratchet straps. They're basically just gonna click into here. It's gonna pull it tight like that. That's how everything's gonna get pulled down to the ground. The actual strength of this isn't really that imperative because you're never gonna have the max load of a couple thousand pounds in any one area. Plus, when you start combining and everything else, like I'm not an engineer, but I'm pretty sure that 4 straps is better than 2, 2 straps is better than 1, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about how we're going to get everything set up before I show you how we're gonna set it up. So how everything's gonna work, you have your main cable rope here connected to your smaller ropes. These have carabiners that clip to the actual harness that the person's gonna be wearing. Then the other half is gonna be connected to the top of that with a pulley system. That way you can pull down and up to the pulleys and then they don't fall on the ground. This is a big thick rope. You kind of want something thick because you want your hands around it, and if it starts slipping, you want to be able to grab onto something. A thin rope will just rip through your hands, especially with not wearing gloves. That's just from the sledgehammer. The rope will do worse. On the bottom of the post, you could put legs, you could put feet. Some people put wood there. I'm just gonna stick them straight into the dirt, because if I put wood, it's gonna rot because it rains a lot here in Florida. I'm not sure just them being in the dirt. They're not gonna rust, they're not gonna corrode. It's fine for what they are because that's what they're meant for. My buddy had a keeker with these set up before, and it was up there for, 4 years, I think, and nothing. So they go in a couple inches in the dirt from actually pulling it to the ground, then make sure everything's nice and level, and then, then hook up the person in the belt, and then you just, make sure that they're safe by pulling them lines when they fall.
Run that way.
And jump, run, go.
Run, just start running.
And this is what the boys are gonna do all day long.
Hey. It's an adult playground.
See how it's set up. See how it's kind of loose, so it's pulling up. Oh, this is gonna be, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's just you have to step way back here. That's the
Who was it in the group message that said, "Well, I don't have a job, so I'm available anytime"? Was that Rob?
Hey, let her go! No, you're falling. Let her go!
Falling! All right, it works.
It works.
Yeah, so that's the spotting rig. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Been up for a couple months now. Ended up resodding and doing some grass shit just so it's nicer on the feet. We still have a mat that we roll out too, just for softer landings. Kind of one-off project, like I said. Not much else is going on with this one. No real woodworking, but that's okay because it's still something that you might not have seen before. But yeah, I got nothing. It's a pretty easy day. All right, follow along. I got new stuff coming out whenever I put it out, and then I'll see you guys on the next one, or I won't. Whatever. Check it.